London, the most popular international city destination in the world.
Go on then, if I must.
Welcome to the Goring. Come on in.
While you may have ticked off the tourist hotspots here, there's a secret side to this mega city.
It's amazing, there are so many beautiful and wild and unspoilt parts of London.
There's amazing graffiti and maybe more of a local kind of life.
A side that's little known to visitors. Take a tour with 3 Londoners and access the kind of experiences that are normally only enjoyed by insiders.
I might say to you, quick, what price of 3 dog? You say evens, levels, you devils.
People in the know in London, this is where they come.
London's East End, once known more for its slums and the scene of the notorious 19th century murders of Jack the Ripper, now the creative epicentre of the city.
It's impossible to be bored in East London. It's really diverse, it's really creative, and it's really fun.
Megan Clay Jones has lived all over London, but like many younger residents, she's chosen to make her home in Tower Hamlets.
15 years ago, visitors never came to the east part of London. There's a real buzz and energy.
Running through this community is a whole other world that most visitors have yet to discover.
In East London, everybody's heard of like Shoreditch and the trendy bars and the clubs and things. And not so many people know that you've got these lovely canal networks. It's relaxing and quite an inspiring place to be.
Hiring a canoe is a cheap and easy way of exploring the hidden waterways of this vibrant part of London.
Look, there's the marks where so when the canal boats were pulled by horses.
Oh, yeah, the road.
With London rents rocketing year on year, canal boats have become a popular place to live. There are 3,000 floating homes like these on the waterways of London, many of which run pop-up businesses.
Lots of the houseboats have started little businesses, so you get floating cocktail bars, you get floating bookshops. I even went to a floating record store the other day.
And the people who live in the houseboats are also friendly, so when you're going past them, they'll wave and say good morning, and even ask you in for like a cup of tea. At the moment, we're going past some artist studios. There are lovely cafes and bars that are off the main thoroughfares of London. There's amazing graffiti and maybe more of a local kind of life.
Yeah, I think the canals are a subculture all of their own.
Last year, 30 million people visited London.
It doesn't matter where you drive in London, every inch of this city is filled with heritage and history and culture.
James has lived in London his whole life. And being a cabbie, he's used to showing off the tourist attractions. But he usually keeps his favourite spots to himself. London cannot boast beaches or guarantee sunshine even in the midst of summer, but on Hampstead Heath, nestled in 790 acres of meadows and public park, there's wild swimming.
Having a swim in Hampstead is just the easiest way to get back to nature and get away from all the stress of the city.
Hampstead Ponds are just 6 miles from Trafalgar Square, but you'd be hard-pushed to find a more tranquil city landscape. There's a mixed-gender pond, ponds exclusively for men and women, and even nudist areas. For just a couple of pounds, it's a cheap way to get away from it all.
It's amazing, there are so many beautiful and wild and unspoilt parts of London.
Most people that visit the city will obviously kind of gravitate towards the main tourist attractions, which tend to be really, really busy. So this is a complete antidote to that. And there's a lot of local people that will use this pond to swim in on a regular basis, but you very rarely get tourists coming here.
There are plenty of outdoor swimming lidos in London and a handful of ponds like these for those wanting to get back to nature without leaving the city. Belgravia in central London is a very different kind of habitat. Ground zero for the city's social elite and home to some of London's finest hotels.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Goring. Come on in.
David Morgan Hewitt is the managing director of the Goring Hotel. Rooms here cost up to £8,400 a night. But afternoon tea is a far more affordable way for visitors to experience a slice of high-end London luxury.
Afternoon tea. It's a completely unnecessary meal. Therefore, it's an indulgence. And it's quite interesting because over the last 4 or 5 years, afternoon tea has become unbelievably popular here in London. Thank you very much, Nikki.
Since opening its doors in 1910, the Goring has welcomed regulars for afternoon tea, including Margaret Thatcher, the Queen Mother and Winston Churchill.
I think there's no more indulgence, British, English indulgence, than afternoon tea.
Another refreshment Londoners love is beer, and there's no shortage of drinking holes. More than 7,000 at last count. The pub culture is in the DNA of this city. But Cabby James prefers the less traditional microbreweries, which in recent years have taken on a new lease of life.
Hi Peter, you right?
You all right? Nice to see you again.
If you don't know your ales from your elbow, then ordering in a British pub can sometimes be confusing.
Go on then, if I'm asked.
But microbreweries are the place to come to get to know your beers.
So when you walk into a British pub now, don't be put off by the large variety of beers on offer. It's perfectly all right to ask the barman for his recommendation. Have a sip. Take your time before you decide.
The great thing about beer is it's got a whole range of flavours, from the malty ones to the dark ones to the light hoppy ones.
Not only can you taste a huge variety of ales, lagers, porters and other beers, you can take a guided tour behind the scenes. It's a one-stop shop for aspiring connoisseurs.
James, you know about your beer?
A little bit.
You know about the brewing process? No, well, I've been doing it a lot of years, you can tell.
So come on then, what's this?
This is the start of the process.
Yeah.
We start with malted barley in the hopper.
Yeah.
We fill that the night before we start brewing. And then we mix it with very hot water, about 75 degrees, as it falls into the mash tun. And it forms like a porridge. Smells a bit like Horlicks and Ovaltine. It's a great start to the day.
Britons have been brewing beer for more than 2,000 years, and now the UK boasts more breweries per head of the population than any other country in the world. David Morgan Hewitt is less pub culture and more high culture. He's a man who mixes in elite circles, and he likes his shopping bespoke. Jermyn Street in St James's is home to many of this city's royal warrant holders, companies and tradespeople that are bestowed with this lofty honour for services to the royal family.
Hello, nice. Good to see you again. How are you? Time for another shirt? I'm pleased to say.
Turnbull and Asser is a bespoke shirt maker, but royal warrant holders include jewellers, hoteliers, milliners, department stores and even chocolatiers. All favourites of the royals that you can enjoy too.
What you'll find when you shop in establishments that have been granted the royal warrant is quality. You're coming into contact with people who really are at the apex of their profession.
Floris has been helping London's elite smell nice for nearly 300 years. This Royal Warrant store has a range of scents which give visitors a glimpse into the past of London society.
This was actually, I think, bespoke in the 1890s for Duke Orloff, who was a Russian émigré living in Paris. But more interestingly for us, it became Winston Churchill's favourite.
You can smell the history in this store.
This one was made for Ian Fleming, who of course created Bond.
But venture a little further, and there's an opportunity to become a part of this history.
This is the Holy of Holies.
Edward Bodenham is the 9th generation of his family to run this business.
What we'll do is just start smelling and smell a few different areas of the fragrance wheel, so something floral, something citrus, something woody, just to get a feel for what type of scent you like.
He specialises in the art of perfume alchemy.
This is a fragrance that dates back to 1700s.
Very sort of citrusy, isn't it? Lemony, lime. And that was because everything smelt so disgusting and people didn't bathe that much and life was a bit smellier.
Floris offers a unique service for customers to create their very own perfume and an opportunity to be entered into ledgers alongside many of the greats of English society.
I think luxury has actually changed. I think a lot more about people's perception of luxury is having something unique and having something experiential. It smells like the inside of an old antique drawer.
There's some black peppercorn, which gives us a spicy element to it. There are some citrus notes in there.
This is so much more personal, and you've been involved in it. When you go and visit a city like London, you want to get under the skin of it. What's great for visitors is to be able to find these things and to go off the beaten track, because actually, people in the know in London, this is where they come.
Go on, number 4! Go on!
Nothing says authentic London quite like an evening at the Dogs. Cabby James is in Romford on the outskirts of East London, one of the last remaining greyhound racing tracks left in the city.
It's not an elitist activity, it's something that everyone can enjoy. One of the other things I love about going to the Dogs is the fact that everyone's really welcoming.
So many of the dog tracks are now closing down, so if you want to get an authentic sort of London experience like nothing else, you need to come while these places are still open. Go on, number 4! Go on! Go on, number 4!
And it's a great opportunity to meet some real characters who live and breathe this sport.
How long have you been at the
50 odd years.
50 odd years.
My
That's
father
amazing.
brought me dog racing when I was 14.
Right.
So, and I enjoy it.
One thing I've always wondered is what happens with these guys up there? Because I noticed you signalling to them all and giving
Yes,
that.
it's sign language.
Yeah.
It's just like when people are deaf, and you know that. It's exactly the same. And I might say to you, quick, quick, what price are 3 dog? You say evens, levels, you devils. Right, 3 laid to lose at 5 to 4, a monkey.
So as the money's going on, you're constantly going, I think all
We're
the money.
trading all the time.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, you know what
5
they
for a
say?
number 3 to win, please.
If you're not in it, you can't win it.
That's true.
Good luck.
There's a reason that going to the Dogs is often dubbed the capital's fun night out. In Peckham, in the southeast of the city, some of London's hippest residents are preparing for an old-school gathering. For Megan and her mates, tonight is less about adrenaline and more about getting back to basics. The Campfire Club is a fortnightly event held in different green spaces of the city.
Well, we're here in one of the biggest cities of the world. You can see the Shard from the garden, and yet you've got this real local sort of atmosphere. It feels quite intimate. This is like a time-honoured tradition of coming together around a blazing fire, making music, telling stories and chatting and getting to know each other.
London's by far the greenest city in Europe, with 35,000 acres of public parks. So there's no shortage of locations to enjoy alfresco music like this.
Severed hearts breed bolted mind.
Tourists wouldn't really know that something like this was going to happen. This is really hidden away. It's very welcoming. Anybody can come. You can hear about it by searching on the website.
When your trouble bears no justice.
London's got a reputation for being unfriendly and that people don't speak to each other. Yet you can see here everyone talking, making friends, getting to know each other and being really friendly and welcoming.
In your heart and in your head.
There's people here from everywhere. I just spoke to someone from Romania, another person from Brazil, another person from Italy. We've all come together to listen to this absolutely beautiful music.
London might be a megacity, but it's best experienced at a local level, which is easily done when you know where to look.